Wait, before you scroll, let me ask you something. If you live to 100, but someone has to carry you to the bathroom, is that really living? Now hold on to that thought. And before I go on, thank you for subscribing. It truly means the world to me. If this kind of story speaks to you, go ahead and subscribe, like, and share it with someone you love, because this might be the message they didn't know they needed. Now come closer, honey. Let me tell you a story you won't forget. All right, come sit a little closer, honey. Let me tell you something people don't usually say out loud. You know, everybody these days is chasing numbers. 90 years old, 100 years old. I want to live long, they say. And I just sit there, rocking in my chair, thinking, you don't even know what you're asking for. Because living long, that's not the prize. No, the prize is waking up in the morning, swinging your legs over the side of the bed, and knowing those legs will hold you. I learned that lesson when I was about your age. I had an aunt. Lord, we all called her B. That woman had more life in her than a whole room full of people. Always moving, always cooking, always fussing over somebody like it was her full-time job. You couldn't sit her down if you tried. Then one day, she retired, and she sat. At first, it didn't seem like much. She's earned her rest, folks said. But rest has a funny way of turning into rust. She stopped walking to church, stopped going to the store, stopped using those strong legs God gave her. And wouldn't you know it, those legs forgot her. 2 years later, she couldn't make it to the end of her driveway. A couple years after that, she couldn't get out of bed. I remember standing there, watching grown men carry her, this woman who used to run circles around all of us, carry her to the bathroom like a child. And the look in her eyes, oh, that's something I never forgot. It wasn't pain, it was shame. She lived like that for years, breathing, yes, but not really living. That's when something inside me said, not you, that will not be you. So I made a promise. Nothing fancy, no big speeches, just a quiet promise between me and my own 2 legs. I said, as long as I'm here, I'm going to use you, and I meant it. Every morning I walked. Didn't matter if it was cold enough to bite or hot enough to melt your patience, I walked. In my kitchen, I'd hold on to that counter and bend my knees up and down, up and down. Nothing pretty about it, but it worked. I fed my body like it mattered too. Eggs in the morning, greens on the plate, a piece of fish when I could get it. Not because it tasted good, though sometimes it did, but because I understood something most folks don't. Your body is listening to everything you do and everything you don't. Now let me tell you about Earl, my husband. Strong as an oak tree that man was, built houses with his hands like it was nothing. You looked at him and thought, that man will outlast all of us. But strength, it doesn't stay just because it used to be there. He retired, same as my aunt did, and he said, Opal, I've worked my whole life, let me rest. I told him, rest if you must, but don't stop moving. He smiled, waved me off, said he'd earned it. And little by little, I watched those strong legs of his fade. First it was the stairs, then it was the walks, then it was just getting up from a chair. One day he reached for my arm to stand. That man who used to carry lumber like it was a bundle of sticks needed me to hold him up. And the way he looked at me, oh, that broke something in me. Not because he was weak, but because he knew what he'd lost. You see, people think death is when your heart stops, but I've lived long enough to know better. Sometimes death comes earlier. It comes the day you can't stand on your own. Everything after that, that's just waiting. Now I'm sitting here, 94 years old, talking to you. I cook my own meals, I sweep my own floors, and every morning I lace up my shoes and walk out that door under my own power. Not because I'm special, but because I never stopped. So let me ask you something, sweetheart. Right now, wherever you are, could you stand up from that chair without using your hands? Go on, be honest, because that little test right there tells you more about your future than any doctor's visit ever will. I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you because I've seen too much. I've buried people younger than me, people who thought they had time. You always think you got time until one day you don't. So listen to your old grandma here. Use your legs, feed your body, get up when you don't feel like it. Because those legs of yours, they're not just bones and muscle, they're your freedom, they're your dignity, they're your life. And once they're gone, oh honey, everything changes. Now let me ask you something, my dear, and I want you to answer it honestly, not to me, but to yourself. When was the last time you stood up from a chair without using your hands? When was the last time you went for a walk, not because you had to, but because your body needed it? Do your legs feel strong, or do they feel like they're slowly giving up on you? Look at your daily life for a moment. Are you moving enough, or are you sitting more than you stand? Are you feeding your body real food, or just whatever's quick and easy? Have you ever watched someone you love lose their strength, lose their independence? How did that make you feel? And here's the hardest question of all. If nothing changes, if you keep living exactly the way you are right now, where will your body be in 10 years? Will you be walking on your own or holding on to walls or someone's arm? You don't have to answer out loud, but you do have to face it, because your future isn't decided later, it's decided by what you do today. All right, my dear, that's enough for today. Take a moment, breathe, and really think about everything we talked about. And remember, your future is being shaped by what you do right now. Goodbye for now. Take care of those legs and take care of yourself. I'll be right here when you're ready to come back.